This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining us today is Ben Turney, the CEO of KAVANGO Resources. Ben, welcome on to Stock Box. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Nice end to the year, Mark.
Yes, indeed. We are winding down for the year. You might be my last interview of the year, certainly the last interview before Christmas. So thank you for that. We're here today to discuss some news that the company have released following the drilling that's going on at Target Area B. That is the target which is in the area of the Great Red Spot. So you've done some drilling and you've then done a downhole electromagnetic survey, have you?
We have. So we completed the survey a bit earlier this week. We decided on this hole, we took a different approach to what we've done on the previous boreholes that we've drilled. As we've said in our RNSs, this campaign has been technically very challenging. A lot of engineering has had to go into these holes because we've been pretty much flying blind. There hasn't been a huge amount of exploration in the way that we're pursuing it in this region. There's been none for the last 17, 18 years. So we've really had to learn as we've gone along. We've encountered, at times, very difficult drilling conditions. So we drilled the geological hole into the Great Red Spot, which completed about 3 or so weeks ago. And that was a challenging hole. It was our most challenging one yet. Mindea and Equity Drilling, they had to work really bloody hard to keep that hole open and get us down to 1,000 metres, which was our target depth to get the core up. Now, we drilled that hole first because it was obviously a data gathering exercise. But we also knew we'd be mobilising to this fantastic target that we're drilling at the moment. And we wanted to learn as much as we could about the stratigraphy, so the layers of rock, the manner in which the rock formations have developed over time, to give us much more of a fighting chance. And because we encountered quite difficult drilling conditions in the shallower area of the hole on the first hole that we drilled in this area, we knew that we would probably have a job on our hands in terms of keeping this one open. So it was highly likely we would have to use metal casing to keep the hole open. So we knew that we would need to have the survey equipment on site. And our plan was to change up the drilling. And I've got to say, John Lauderdale has done some fantastic work here. He's our in-country exploration manager. And he's the guy who's sort of really overseeing sort of the redesign of this campaign as we've reacted to conditions on the ground. So John's worked very closely with Kaz Lotter at Spectral and with the guys at Mark at Equity Drilling and Mindea to figure out the best approach. And I'm really, really pleased to say that we took the rods out of the hole a bit earlier this week, stuck the dummy probe down there. We ran into a blockage, so we had to put the drill string back down the hole to free up the blockage. We were then able to run the dummy probe again. This time it got to the bottom, down to 350 metres. We put the real probe down there, and we've got this data, which this morning I received. We use a geophysicist in Australia who verifies this data for us, got his model this morning, which is what we've just announced. So we've really learned as we've gone along, and the guys have all worked extremely hard. Been very, very tough conditions, plus also it's summer in Botswana at the moment, so temperatures have been very high. But they've done wonderful work. And, as a result of that, we've now got a secure hole down to 350 metres. We've cased it so we can leave it open over Christmas because the metal casing is in place. And we'll return in the new year to really go for this Conductor. And it's exciting, Mark. I mean, there's no two ways about it. This is a really, really great looking target that's just been quite significantly upgraded, we believe.
Okay. And why did you stop then at 350 metres? Was this to enable you to do the downhole EM?
It was ground conditions. So we started to hit some more difficult ground again, much sort of more looser formation. That with what we'd hit in the first hole in this area, we knew that we might find ourselves in a bit of difficult terrain, and it was unclear sort of how much further that would go down. Now, the guys on the ground, they were due to break on Wednesday this week. So the drillers were due to break on Wednesday. We weren't going to ask them to stay for any extra time. These guys have been out in the field for 6 months in, as I said, very difficult conditions. Temperatures have been really, really hot, but they've managed to maintain doing two shifts a day. So 2 12-hour shifts, one in the morning, then one at night. they've worked really, really hard. So it's very important that they get off site and that they rest. So we were faced with a decision. Do we try and push ahead a bit further, or do we actually pause the hole here, get the downhole EM out the way, case it so the hole is secure, and then come back in the new year and really look to hit this thing? So we took the view to play it safe, and yeah, we've now got this fantastic data from the downhole EM. And in terms of our exploration strategy moving forward, this is certainly the way that we'll be doing it in future. We will be looking to do downhole EM in intervals. I think it really is the only way that we can do it in this area, and sort of be certain, or have a degree of certainty, that we'll be able to get the data that we need.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit about the Siemens reading and this 11,000? You said it's an increase of 37.5% from the original model from the time domain survey. So why do you think that is?
Well, it's for a number of reasons. So the original TDEM survey was run from the surface, obviously. So it was 350 meters further away, with obviously all the noise from the intervening rock. So we're now much closer to the target. The configuration is also different. So the way that the downhole EM is put together, I mean, I'm obviously massively simplifying things here, but the way that the downhole EM probes are run is, it just takes a different technical configuration. So there'll always be a degree of variation between what you see from surface and what you see down the hole. The most important things for us here is that, first of all, we've confirmed that the conductor is there. So we're now probably about 175 meters away from it. We're estimating it's somewhere between 525 to 575 meters. That's our intercept target depth. But obviously, it's very encouraging at this stage that we're so much closer to it, to have a degree of confidence that not only is it there, but the closer we've got, the stronger the conductance signal, the conductance reading. Now, obviously, there is some risk with this. We're looking at a different view. So it's a partial anomaly in some ways, because from the way that the TDEM works, you're able to take these readings on these 3 kilometer long lines, which give you a sort of a more comprehensive view of the conductor, which is obviously enhanced if you then operate another TDEM loop next to the one that you just previously looked. So you get basically 2 ways of looking at this conductor target. Obviously, what we're now looking at is a single view, because it's from directly within the hole. But what we can also see is that we're now heading straight towards this thing. So, from our point of view, that is very important. We assuming that we can carry on, with the success we've had with the drilling, we can carry on extracting the cores. We are on course to hit it. So, early in the new year, we're hoping to discover what this target actually is.
Okay, so looking into next year then, you're going to be starting fairly early in the new year. What can you tell us? What are the next steps that are going to be carrying out, let's say, Q1 next year? And you've also mentioned before about it being the year of discovery for KAVANGO. So I wonder if you can elaborate on that a bit more as well.
Yeah, well, next year is a big year for us. I mean, there's no two ways about it. We've done so much preparatory work across our projects. We framed this year as proof of concept. Proof of concept was, I'm not sure how well understood that's been by the market. I mean, obviously, it would have been great if we could have made a discovery this year. But proof of concept was about obviously discovering the rocks, finding the evidence for mineralization within the system and its potential to host mineralized bodies. But it was also for validation and verification of our exploration methods. We've obviously got our in-house team who do great work for us, both with geophysics and in the field. But we've also got, I think the best possible partners we could have in Botswana in spectral geophysics for the surveying that they provide us. I mean, they've got all the technology in country, with especially what's happened with the COVID situation. That's been a huge plus for us. And of course, the guys at Equity Drilling and Mindea. I mean, at some point, we really will have to talk in much more detail about, the lengths these guys have gone to think on their feet and keep these holes open. I mean, you talk to any sort of professionals in the industry and they think we're crazy drilling these 1,000-meter holes in such challenging conditions. But we've done it, So KAVANGO, thanks to these guys, is really punching above its weight. And now, obviously, we feel much more confident in all of this and confident in our abilities to work as a team and work with our partners. We obviously want to hit the ground running in Q1. So we're putting together our budgets for the first half of next year. Our funding position is obviously great. We talked a lot recently about our working capital position. So we're looking in a strong position there. We're now just finalising our operational plans, but expect to see a lot more activity in the KSZ. I think we'll be doing a lot more in terms of surveying using the TDEM technology to look for conductor targets. Of course, we're going to be taking this drill rig that we have down to Dittel. We'll be talking more about what we're going to be doing at Dittel, hopefully in the near future. We're just finalising our plans for down there. We'll also be doing some TDEM surveys as well. And then, of course, we're looking at the KCB. I think we're probably getting to a stage now where we will have to have 2 rigs in the field to do our projects justice. And then finally, there's Malopo Farms, which the work programme there is continuing. We obviously have to make a decision in the new year as to whether or not we're going to exercise the option that we have. But so far, so good. We're encouraged by what we've seen. So yeah, it's a big year for KAVANGO next year. I'm framing it as our year of discovery, really sort of nailing our colours to the mast. But it really is time for us as a business to prove that all this work, years of effort that have gone into this company, it's now time for that to start delivering some serious results.
Okay, well, Ben Turney, the CEO of KAVANGO Resources, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure interviewing you and following the story over 2021, and I look forward to continuing that into next year. I wish you a very happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
That's great. Thank you, Mark, and have a very happy Christmas too.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.